Here you're going to learn the difference between customer requirements and maybe some more organizational requirements that we have when we're developing a product. And it's going to help you to be able to know the difference. So you'll be able to maneuver, within the program a little better and ascertain which side you're on. Basically, for customer requirements, we have concept of operations, of where their product is going to fit in, how they're going to use our product. They have their needs and then requirements. That helps formulate the request. Then these requirements move over here, and we blend it in with our own organizational or corporate policy and requirements. Our organization may dictate how we do the engineering, so we need to blend those. And then basically the needs can come over either directly or through the CONOPS to some life cycle concepts of the product. And we'll blend those in along with our technical requirements. So these two really from the customer, blending with our own requirements, they will then formulate the product. Now, you might ask, okay, well, why is this so messed up? Well, it turns out a lot of times requirements are confused with needs, and then a high-level need turns into a shall statement in a design spec, and a designer doesn't really know how to decompose something that low level. So it's very useful to be able to break things out. I like to do it, at least the needs and requirements. I very much like the CONOPS there. That's the concept of operations. That could be how they plan to use the product, how they plan to use the product in the larger system. It could be one level up, and just what are the customer business processes that we think we can accelerate and move into. In fact, I was on one project years ago where the customer had their business process set. They were handling different deliverable they had to move to the field. It was a software product, and we could save them a lot of time by trimming up their business flow. It was very paper-based. We were able to automate it with a web-based interface. But there, the concept of operations they already had. Okay, they would receive requests, they would process it, and they would give them the right product. The need was, cut down the cycle time, and then we were able to develop some requirements out of that. So it was a well-formed request. And then in our organization, we had our own policies on how do we develop software. Okay, so we had to follow those. But all the while, we're keeping in mind the customer requirements. We put in some quality that we negotiated, the customer was willing to pay for and pursue. And then the lifecycle concepts of the whole endeavor. So receiving requests, delivering on the request. There's a whole life cycle there. It was a software product but had an expiration date, so we had to handle that. And then the combination of these, we were able to start writing code and then eventually deliver the product. The customer was very satisfied, and in part because we had some development rigor. We really spent some time on the requirements and the needs. We kept in mind their operational flow while we're getting our low-level software requirements, and then it was a pretty easy segue into their system because we kept all this in mind, and they were able to incorporate it. And as far as I know, this was years ago, but I believe they're still using it today. So again, customer side, formulate these needs and requirements to get a well-formed request, at which point we mix in our own requirements and then develop the product. If you like this tip, message me below. Let me know your opinion. I'd be curious to hear what you think. Again, message me below.